Well, well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Six Man Convo. It is Thursday afternoon. Make sure everybody is doing good today. I am your host for this evening. As you already know, if you're new to the channel, you make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit a like for the algorithm to the 6MK Live, as you see in the ticker below, where all the handles is at. Man, what an interesting day. What an interesting day. I want everybody to know that the day is good. We are doing good over here. So before we go ahead and get started, let me go ahead and do something right quick for y'all. Let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. Yeah. I'll throw a little bit of music in here for the people. Hey, we go ahead and show some love. Definitely give a definite shout out to some of the members of the channel. And we got Brian Peoples in here, D Coleman, and also definitely shout out to some of the to the mods as well. We got Joseph Thornton in here. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming in. Man, let's go ahead and give this a couple minutes, see if we can get some more people in here. Then we're gonna go ahead and start the show. Southside, what's going on? I see you got some red and black in here. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Hey, hey, hey. Ah, ooh, 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 ooh. But like I said, man, y'all definitely we I'm on all platforms. As you see it at the bottom of the screen, like you said, 6MK live on YouTube. We got Just 6MK on X, 6 Man K Styles one on the gram. Come on now, y'all. No, don't do me like this. Now, don't do me like this. All right, let's cut it, DJ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, how are we doing this evening? Hopefully, everybody done got out of that Atlanta traffic. Um, oh, I definitely want to go ahead and give a shout out to the Lady Birds of AFN as well. But them definitely do doing the damn thing, and I definitely want to give also a shout out to my boy Jammers 58. Mister 58 is what they call him. As he make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel, so he got the logistics video for the week. We got a couple days here before the Falcons Raiders game, but until we get into that, we got a couple topics that we want to go ahead and get into tonight. Jay Black, what's going on, man? And if you are looking at the screen and the title, no, this is not an error. This is not an error. This is a conversation. D. Coleman, shut the hell up. What are you talking about? Friday night sissy fight. Oh God. All right. Before we get into this conversation here, I got a little sidebar that I want to go ahead and get right off the gate. As everybody knows that we have come to the end of the college football season. This is right around the time where we start having the Heisman talks, the college MVPs, the players of the years, and all these other trophies. And I think one of the major topics that we have right now is Travis Hunter versus Ashton Genty. And these are the two guys that are the front runners for this Heisman this year. Thank God it's not a quarterback because I'm so sick of that. I want to get everybody that's watching in here, man, between Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. Who do you believe will be this year's Heisman winner recipient? I don't know why I said winter. Nah, I say that was that's BS. All right. So D Coleman says Hunter got it, but if Genty gets it, it's not a robbery. He killed it this year. Okay, we got a couple Ashton Genties here. Um, I I think I'm a little bit torn on this year, just for the simple fact that you literally these two guys have been the studs of the college football season. I don't want to waste too much time on this because I just want to get this out the way. Like for me, I was one of those guys where I thought it may have been Ashton Genty just for the simple fact that I know how they are when it comes to running backs. We've seen this happen quite a few times, like you said, but I think it's Travis. I think Travis Hunter, and looking at some of the numbers as him playing on both sides, I think Travis Hunter might end up getting this just for the simple fact that not only is he's considered the best player in college football to come into the 2025 draft, but like you said, he's been killing it on both sides. Like you said, we haven't really seen a guy like this in college football really since Champ Bailey, but it's kind of been put on steroids a little bit just for the simple fact that he has been a integral part of the offense as well. Um, I would be mad if either one, if one won and the one won and the other, but personally, I think it might end up being Travis Hunter just for the simple fact is he's pretty much to shut down his side on defense, and he's really been the best player on offense for Colorado. But we also know how college football kind of feels about Deion Sanders. Um, but we'll see how it go. We'll see how it go. But definitely shout out to both of those players. Those two have been the best players in college football. So hey, it's gonna be a good race. Can't wait to see how it's gonna play out. Um said Hunter's a playmaker, GT is the team. It's just about who the voters feel was more impactful. And I really think that if we're going based off of this talking point right here, is most likely going to be Hunter, just for the simple fact that he's the biggest name out of the two. He's the big name, and they're going to look at it as a two-way player who pretty much been impactful on both sides. So let's go ahead and get right into the main topic for this evening. Yes, the topic tonight is Kyle Pitts, the new Deshaun Jackson of the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, let me repeat that one more time. Kyle Pitts, is the new Deshaun Jackson of the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, who is that in the back? Now, y'all probably asking this question.
It's yeah. I'm having all sorts of trouble right now, y'all. Forgive me.
Yeah, I think this topic done warped whatever the hell you had going on. So, hey, what's going on, Mike?
We good. We good. We good. Like I said, man. Yeah, just having a little bit of just having a little bit of trouble. But
No, oh no, it's all good, man. It's all good. But since you done came in, I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question before we get into the main topic tonight. Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, who do you think wins the Heisman?
well, um, I'm gonna go with Hunter, but the only reason why, I'm still kind of holding judgment because let's keep it 100% real. The college game really hasn't warmed up to a lot of black coaches, and they're looking for every which way. And we're talking about the ones that are in power. Like we know for the most part, we just want to see good games as far as the fan is concerned. But those that are in power, they don't want to see Dion succeed and his players succeed right now because they pretty much disturbed the landscape of how, from transfer to recruiting, to coaching, and even just the players of all ethnic backgrounds and culture. Like everybody just warmed up to the idea. It's like you got Goldberg and his son. He's going. So many players just admire what's going on, and like I said, they just don't like that. So um, I I'm saying Travis Hunter because he deserves it, and I believe he's gonna do it. But you know how this college football is. I've seen players win the Heisman, and they had absolutely no reason to win.
Tim Tebow. Oh, I did that slip?
I was thinking that, but I would. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Nah, but that's cool. Like I said, man, either one of these guys, I wouldn't be mad at. See, now if they to pull some BS and be somebody like Dylan Gabriel, they did, like I said, we'd definitely be an outrage right there. But I didn't want to get your quick thought on that, man, because I want to really get into this conversation here. Dre Murphy asked, like I said, what makes you say that about my boy Kyle Pitts, the unicorn? Um, let's set this up here. I want to ask everybody a question. Did anybody catch the press conference with Raheem Morris earlier today? Mike, did you catch the press conference with one said Raheem Morris
I
today?
surely did.
Mm, mm. Now, I want y'all to sit down for this one. I want y'all to strap up. If you got some tea, if you got water, liquor, something, you might want to sit down and drink this. So it was a question that was asked. I think it was Allison that asked the question. Shout out to all the reporters and stuff during this conference as well, and shout out to the Falcons in itself. So the question was, Jermaine Walton said he did, was about Kyle Pitts and his involvement in the offense. Am I correct, Mike?
Yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the catalyst. So the conversation in itself was about Kyle Pitts and how they kind of felt like he hasn't been involved in the offense as much. And the answer to the question was Raheem Morris, verbatim, said that Kyle Pitts wasn't a volume catcher, but he is a deep threat playmaker as a tight at the tight end position, and that he reminds him of Deshaun Jackson. Let me say that again. Kyle Pitts is not a volume catcher, but the reason he used Deshaun Jackson as a reference point in Kyle Pitts was because he is a guy who can get big, who is a deep threat, deep threat. Now, like I said, these are the words. These are the words that was used. And he said because Deshaun Jackson was the type of guy who could get two catches for 110 yards in a game and be non-existent for the rest of the game is what he used to describe Kyle Pitts and how he feels like that in the offense. Now, I'm looking at the chat right now. I see a couple people already speaking on what the hell is he talking about. And we got a $5 super chat from Jay Black. Appreciate you. He said Kurt is having a problem being consistent. Is that he has to have a reliable and consistent pass catching tight end. Pitch is not it. Um, Kyle
So,
does drop. Let me say this. Now, like you said, it's a couple passes that Kyle had in this game that he dropped. Totally, he got to be better on that. But in the conversation that we're having about this subject here, I think that was the wrong choice of words to use, especially right now with the state of mind and the affairs of how Falcon fans and Falcon media is viewing Kyle Pitts right now as kind of being one of those regrettable picks. Now, if you're expecting a tight end to be your deep threat on your team, there's a problem with that statement. And Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give me your thoughts on what you heard when you say that. Cause shout out to Ty. Ty said that is not Kyle at all.
first of all, I want to say thank you, Jay Black, for the $5. But that's absolutely wrong. If your coach, that's how a quarterback gets comfortable. Is just throwing the ball. No matter who catch it, he needs to throw the ball. Okay? Don't matter. Don't matter who's on that field. The quarterback isn't comfortable, period, point blank. It don't matter who's out there. Him throwing the ball has nothing to do with anybody catching it. His inability to throw it consistently to a spot has nothing to do with anybody on the field. Why? Because the Falcons have all types of weapons across. Nobody can't tell me that Desean Robinson isn't a great receiver. Nobody can't tell me that Kyle Pitts isn't a great receiver. Can't nobody tell me that Drake London, Mooney. I mean, these guys got over 50 receptions. So the fact of the matter is, if you look at what Kurt is, he's struggling being consistent. He's not struggling because of guys not catching the ball. The Falcons don't lead the league in drops. So to say that Kyle Pitts is he's not a volume catcher is literally the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I'm not saying you, Jay. I'm just saying for him to utter that is literally the stupidest shit. And he's really getting on my fucking nerves. Excuse me, K-Style, but he getting on my fucking nerve. Are you freaking serious? What the hell does volume catcher mean? A running back catching the ball out of the backfield 2-3 times. Like, what is a volume catcher? I really want that. I really want that. Like, can you catch 10, 5, 10, 15 passes? Like, what is a volume catcher? Like, from what I've always been told, K-Styles, is that if that motherfucker come near you, you should be catching it, right?
Right.
So what is he talking about? That's what any coach would tell you. If that ball come anywhere and touch your hands, you should catch it. So what you slick trying to tell me that Kyle Pitts can't catch the ball because he was doing fine at Florida catching the ball. He was doing fine in his rookie season catching the ball and making the Pro Bowl. So what the heck are you talking about? That's why I'm confused. I don't even know what volume catcher means.
And Jermaine Walton here says, why did we sign Mooney and trade for more then?
We're gonna get into that.
And shout out to Jay Black with another $2 super chat. The damn Mike Raheem Morris in trouble.
No, I ain't say that. I just say he acting stupid. Like nothing he's saying makes any sense right now. He's just talking. And I'm tired of I really get tired of people just saying dumb crap and then you see something completely different on the field. Nothing that he's saying is translating to the field. He said we was gonna be aggressive on defense. Have y'all seen that? I didn't say it. He said it. I didn't say it. He said
it. Well, see, sticking to the topic at hand is this is one of those things where, and I definitely got to give a shout out to Jew Talk Sports. And this is the one thing that he's been saying for a while now is when you got too many Ferraris in the garage, you can only drive one of them at a time. Brian people said he shoot the damn breeze.
yeah, that's all I'm trying to get I'm trying to understand what volume catcher means. Like I don't know what the heck that means.
If I'm gonna make a guess, if I'm gonna make a guess, a volume catcher is somebody that catches a lot of the keep it simple stupid part of it
Yeah.
is somebody that catches a lot of passes. But here's the thing though. You have a multitude of guys who need the football.
Yeah.
You have Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, who I believe these two guys are the heart and soul of this offense because a lot of things run through them, and them running the football benefits the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30 to 35 carries right there in itself. Falcons average 65 plays a game. So if you got about 30 carries coming from those two, then if you're looking for balance, then you're looking at 30 to 35 pass attempts. You got said Bijan Robinson, who equates at least 4 to 5 catches a game.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Drake London who you expected to be wide receiver one is going to need some catches and some targets. You brought in Darnell Mooney, who is an excellent number two, going to need some catches. Ray McLeod has 72 targets on the year.
And that's another thing too. You're not gonna tell me that Kyle isn't a volume catcher, but Ray McLeod is. Man, if you don't get bent, okay, get bent.
Yeah, man. Yeah. D. Coleman here says, does Rod think we're asking Pitts to be Cooper Cup? No, we just want more than 6 receptions in 4 games from Kyle. Kirk got more picks than Pitts has catches in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that's why he's saying that, like, what Rod gonna end up doing, he gonna lose these fans. I think he's already to the point where he's losing these fans because he's just saying anything now.
Because I think the biggest issue as far as when the question was asked about the targets for a Kyle Pitts, I think I think that answer itself was the wrong answer to give because first of all, you're not comparing him to a tight end. You're comparing him to is considered one of the greatest deep threat wide receivers this NFL league has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would agree with me on that. Since I think he
Yeah.
has the record for most 50 plus yard touchdowns in a career.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The average tight end in the NFL right now is not a deep threat.
Bruh.
You got guys that can be that are playmakers or big play guys. I think that's where he was trying to go with it. Like I said, if I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit, he was me. I think he tried to mean to say that he's a potential big play guy, but I think using the term deep threat at a position that is not normally known for being deep threats is kind of added another stigma to Kyle Pitts that he's incompetent at his position.
I mean, if you drafting a tight end to be big play, you already lost.
I disagree with that. It just depends on the offense that you have. I'm gonna
No,
say
no,
this,
no,
and
no,
I'm gonna
no,
say
no. Because the reason why he used that, I'm talking about exactly what he said. I'm not he. This is what he said. When you go out and you say Deshaun Jackson, you're talking about a deep pass. He didn't say big. He said big play, and then he compared him to Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Jackson. So I'm going off what he said. Now you can go
okay.
off, what you meant, but I'm talking about what he said. That's how I do it. Like we're gonna play both sides. I'm playing that side. He said that he compared him to Deshaun Jackson. When I was thinking about Deshaun Jackson, what we thinking about? Deep outs. I think Kyle can do that.
Nine routes, deep posts,
Them crossing routes.
deep
He can do that.
crossing
Kyle can
routes
do
and
that.
deep flags.
So it's a lot of deep passes. So if you're drafting a tight end for that, you've already lost because that like for one, that's not even who Kyle is not a great accelerator. He gets the ball. When he gets the ball, it takes him a minute to get up the top speed. So you already drafted him for the wrong thing to begin with because you need guys like Mooney and Ray next to him to kind of keep the defense off of him because he's not one of those guys that accelerates well like that. Kyle, it takes some time to kind of get at that top speed. Once he at top speed, yeah, then Kyle can run away from him. We've seen that. But if you're comparing him to Deshaun Jackson, yeah, you've already drafted him for the wrong reason. Based on what he stated. That's what I'm
Right.
basing. Just basing on what he stated. Now, if you would have said, all right, big play, and I think he's a big play guy like Travis Kelsey and Tony Gonzalez, I would have understood that. But that's not what he said.
Mm, mm.
Those are different big plays because a big play for a power back is different for a big play from a speed back. You see?
Right. And we've seen it. We've seen that this year with the difference between Bijan and Tyler Algier.
Mm-hmm. Now he back to what you said. He probably meant big play,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably wasn't thinking when he said Deshaun Jackson, thinking clearly about what he was saying, and that happens.
Okay. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We have, like you said, we have an abundance of skilled players issue though,
Mm-hmm.
because like I just previously said, you have two running backs that need the football.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did you draft Kyle Pitts fourth overall, but you drafted your number one wide receiver eighth overall. He needs the ball. You brought in a wide receiver acquisition in Darnell Mooney.
Who was already 1,000 yard receiver himself.
See, I think where we're having a big issue with is, like you said, you have too many guys that need the football. Now, if we're going to compare it to the best season he had, which was 2021, and that was 3 years, 3 years ago, you also have to remember Kyle Pitts was the only option on that team that was worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2021, they have upgraded all skill positions to the point where you can only feed the ball to one guy.
Yeah.
Now, will I say Kyle Pitts can these may need to get better in certain areas? Definitely. Is there potential there to where he could be one of the top tight ends in this league? Definitely. But when the team is built in the way that it is now, unfortunately, Kyle Pitts will never regain. that 2021 season as long as you got all these guys here. Which also comes, but what I found interesting about that point as well, it almost kind of sounds like it almost kind of sounds like not only did you throw Kyle Pitts under the bus for not reaching those numbers, because it's crazy as hell. He's already about to surpass his numbers he had last year.
Yep.
I think he only need like 40 something yards to surpass the yards he had last year. But it's almost kind of like it's almost slight, like it was a slight to Zach Robinson too.
Mm-hmm. I got something else to say about that too, myself.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna give you some numbers right now. See, this is why people just need to. Y'all look. I got a main problem with somebody saying he's a wasted draft pick. Anybody that says that they have no clue about football, zero. Y'all going off based off what y'all deem to be super, what you deem to be great, without having back. You got to be able to back your take. You can't just have a feeling and have a opinion about something and not have anything to back it up. There's nothing that states with Kyle Pitts that he isn't a good pick. Y'all was expecting Hall of Fame. That's just to keep it real. That's what y'all was expecting. In case should I get into that? I look because
Oh, look, look.
you want to say that
Like you said, hey man, hey, the floor is yours, man.
because we had a conversation. We'll break it down, but I want to kind of ease into that because let's keep it real. How many of people when y'all saw Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and Julio Jones decided he wanted to leave Matt Ryan? What were your first thoughts when the Atlanta Falcons drafted Kyle Pitts? What was your expectations for him?
Hmm.
Your honest expectations when you saw that Matt Ryan was going to be our quarterback, Julio had been traded, and we got Kyle Pitts drafted Kyle Pitts. As far as his numbers is concerned, what do you expect his numbers to be? Truth now.
Hmm.
Because I want to see what you got, Jermaine. At least you definitely. I appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you, Jermaine.
Julio replacement.
What is Andrew? What is played like a number 4 overall? Do you know how many See, this is what we're talking about. Do your homework. There's been some guys that's been number 1 overall and they pay like absolute crap. So what does play like a number overall pick? You know better than when it comes down to us. You know better than that. That's a bland and it's a cop out statement.
That is.
A number 4 overall pick. What does that even mean? Some guys don't even play. Thank you,
Hold
D.
on.
Thank you,
Let me
D.
see. Let me see something. And like
Southside.
keep going, keep going. I'm finna look at something. I'm finna
Southside
look up
said, I ain't
something.
gonna lie, Mike. I saw Julio 2.0. Thank you. I appreciate everybody being that honest. Thank you.
And I
That's
think
what we said, Megatron. That's what I'm saying. Mucho says 800 yards a year. Thank you, Mucho. I appreciate people being honest, bro. Like, this is a conversation. And all we do is seek honesty, bro. Like y'all ain't gotta try to hide behind comments and stuff like that. We just it's a conversation. So it's like
mm-hmm.
everybody's expectations. A lot of people saying Megatron. A lot of people saw. I thought Pitts, Ridley, Julio was gonna be special. I thought this is what I thought. This is exactly what I
Mm-hmm.
thought right here.
Yeah.
Decoder. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Julio got the heck on.
Let's see. All right. Let's see. You said number four overall picks.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go right back to 2000 when we talking about
17,
number
37.
four overall picks. Nigga, this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go. We're gonna start with 2000, and then we're gonna go to now. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peter Ward,
Woo, boy.
Justin Smith.
The D lineman.
Yep. Mike Williams, the O
Ooh.
lineman.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Dwayne Robertson, D lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Rivers, Cedric Benson, DeBrickashaw Ferguson,
Oh my gosh.
Gaines Adams,
Oh, but we know what that was about. Ooh, jeez.
Darren McFadden,
Mm.
Aaron Curry,
I don't even know what happened to him.
Trent Williams, AJ Green, Matt Khalil, Lane Johnson, Sammy Watkins,
Mm.
A- Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Denzel Ward, Cleveland Farrell, Andrew Thomas, Kyle Pitts, Sauce Gardner, Anthony Richardson, Marvin Harrison Jr.
So how many Hall of Famers and all those guys that you list?
So far, none.
You see what I'm saying? So this is what brings up John's comment. Can we just admit that draft is a marketing PR event? It's really nothing more than that. Yes, it is. It is important, but putting emphasis on draft level is a mistake. And that's why I'm saying you're so a lot of people, not just you, Andrew. Let me make that clear. A lot of people put so much emphasis on where guys are drafted instead of just saying, all right, how can we get the man? What is this person? What is he? Who is he? How can do we have the personnel as far as the coaching to be able to get the most out of this person? All these things play a factor into it. Does this guy have a revolving door at quarterback? Yes, he's had about 3 or 4. This man I had 4 quarterbacks, bro.
Well, technically six.
6. That's falling to him.
Impossible seven.
So he got all these quarterbacks thrown to him, and he's still putting up tight end numbers. Because if you look at Shannon Sharp, anybody want to take a look at Shannon Sharp numbers his first few years in the league? Because I know.
Because the thing, because when we're talking about the fourth overall pick for a tight end, you do know that, yeah, and that's really what it comes down to. Is we looked at the number four overall pick and looked at it as the position as well. No tight end has ever had got drafted that high before.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Never.
forgetting the fact that the previous record was five.
Yep. No tight end has done that.
Do anybody remember the tight end that was drafted, the second highest drafted tight end in NFL history?
Mm.
I pretty much then gave it away. I just want to see if
You
anybody
gave it away.
remember.
You definitely gave it away. Mm-hmm. That's why we got to get out our feelings and stop worried
Mhm.
about stop worried about expectations. and think about what is.
Right. Like I said, the expectations that we had for a Kyle Pitts changed the minute they started bringing in other playmakers.
You did, Andrew. Stop. You did. You said he was a complete bust. Okay, I don't try to play this witchcraft on me. You said he was a complete bust. You said, and that's what Trey. What do you think bust is? He ain't worth a damn, right? Yeah, that's exactly what you said, Andrew. You know I love you, bro, but you full of crap right now. That's exactly what does bust. Now we gonna figure out what bust means. Do I have to
Okay,
pull out a
let's.
dictionary to tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Let me see. I could pull up the word bust because you said you used those words.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, I forgot Kellen Winslow was not that far away from that too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is a bus, Mike?
Okay, so this is where a lot of them say a player who performs below expectations and can lead to a losing season, blah blah blah. Um, but their expected value, boom or bust players. Okay, so when you're talking about expectations, the expectations are always when you talk about football terms, you compare them to the best. You compare to the guys that is around him. So you compare him to the top and you compare him to the bottom. All right. So we're gonna look at the catches. All right. Does Kyle Pitts get a lot of catches compared to the most starting tight ends? He's around the same numbers around as far as the catches is concerned. He doesn't get a lot of the targets that those guys, and that the targets are subjective anyway because depending on if you have what K Style was saying, if you have better talent, the targets are obviously going to go down. So that right there isn't really a good indication to say whether or not a guy's a bust. Because like I said, if you only got a running back out of Derrick Henry on your team, obviously you're gonna keep feeding Derrick Henry the ball because you ain't got nothing else. So you look at the catches. So you compare him to all the players around him. Look at the catches. Um, he's around the same. He's around the top 10 as far as top 15 as far as catches is concerned. So he's not below any average. Not below any average as far as catches. And you go to the yards. Well, he got close to five. He's close to 500 yards in receiving yards, and that's above a lot of tight ends. So as far as that is concerned, the yards, he's not a bust. He's not below. He's
So
actually above. And then you take it to the average. Your K Styles informed me today. K Style, you want to share what the average was for that?
the average tight end right now, the average tight end averages about 700 yards a season. He's not that far off it.
Hmm.
But I think this is the question that you have to ask on this. And I think I want to see a lot of people's responses on this.
This is what you said. This is what you said, Andrew.
Do
Okay.
do if I'm about to say so if Kyle Pitts right now had almost 1,000 yards receiving, wouldn't that make Drake London a bust
Mm-hmm.
if they swap the numbers?
Mm-hmm. I'm repeating what you said. You say he's horrible. You said all of this about him. So we're not putting any words in your mouth, sir.
Because that, like I said, the thing is, this is one of my biggest issues as far as drafting best player available instead of drafting best player available in a position of need.
It- mm,
He got drafted the very next year
mm-hmm. Yeah.
as a very high draft pick. So you've already established the fact that you wasn't trying to make Kyle Pitts the number one guy
Mm-hmm.
from the get go.
Let me.
And then think about it like this: not only did you draft Drake London the very next year, you
Mm-hmm.
brought in Desean Robinson the following year. See the problem that we're seeing right now when it comes to Kyle Pitts is it's a bunch of ideas on what they it's a bunch of ideas that that's contradicting each other.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So now he's not horrible. But those little no man. All right, Andrew. Yeah, you I don't know what you smoking today, but you definitely smoking. You
And what Andrew is saying right here is the fourth overall. See, when people look at that term fourth overall,
mm-hmm.
you're automatically looking at it as okay, he needs to be the face of the team
Right.
at that position. The problem is the next 2 years you literally drafted skill positions around the same pick.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have that expectation for every last one of them. Now, Drake London, let's I'm gonna say this again. If Kyle Pitts right now had Brock Bowers numbers, but Drake London had Kyle Pitts numbers,
Mm,
we would be saying that Drake London is a bust right now
mm,
because he's not putting those numbers up.
mm.
The Falcons right now have double dipped on the skill position so much. Somebody's got to take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, what ended up happening now was you brought in an offensive style that's not conducive to the tight end position. So basically Kyle Pitts was an idea of a previous regime that never got fulfilled because they kept building up on it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, furthermore, on top of that, the Falcons can't. They can't dictate. They can't dictate where they're going to be drafted. Where
Right,
they're going to be drafted. They can
right,
go on their need. So at that particular time, that's what they needed. They
right.
need. They needed one of. They needed for Matt Ryan a guy that's essentially a big target. You can the Falcons have. I think we know that we can trust the Falcons drafting wide receivers.
Hmm.
And Kyle Pitts was at that particular time, he was a big target. That's what Matt Ryan always worked well with big targets. Going Tom Muhammad, Sanu, Tony Gonzalez, Julio Ryder, those guys are big targets. So it made sense for where we were right there. But
Right.
we're demeaning players because they were drafted at 4. Well, that's not their problem. It's not their fault. They are drafted because that's that particular team where that's what that need was at that point in time. So
But
we're trying to subject the players to a position to a number to a pick when we should really be focusing on whether or not the team did they really need him.
hmm
That's what the focus should be. We got it all. We got it all wrong.
because you have to think about it like this. And Mike, I want to ask you this question: was the 2021 Falcons philosophy the same as the Falcons philosophy in 2022?
2021 and 2022. I would say no.
Was 2021 was 2022's philosophy different from 2023?
I think it's slightly changed.
Was 2023's philosophy different from 2024?
Absolutely.
So essentially, what I'm saying here is there was no foundational plan that stuck for
hmm
this team. Because remember, with Arthur Smith, remember the offensive philosophies changed all 3 years he was here. It
Yeah.
wasn't one identity.
hmm And now it has the potential to change again because we had two different quarterbacks right now.
And you have a quarterback in Michael Penix that came from a system in Washington where he didn't really utilize tight ends like that neither. So
Mm-mm.
Kyle Pitts. So what we're essentially going to be seeing is this could be Kyle Pitts last year here,
hmm
based on if they go based on them going in that direction. But the reason why we're having this conversation is because it's the comparing it is using this idea that your tight end is your deep threat per the words he used. I'm gonna go with Mike said. Per the words that was used, people are gonna look at that and be like, dude, what the fuck is you talking about?
hmm That's something that you don't do when you talk about the position of tight end. You don't say tight end,
Mhm.
say because that's what he is. That's because that's something that they've been saying all year. Kyle Pitts is a tight end. He's not a wide receiver. Everybody say that. Shannon Sharp, all those guys say he's a tight end.
So, Mike, let me ask you this question. And once again, this is my conspiracy theory brain churning in my head right now. Do you think that a phrase like that was used to show how incompetent Kyle Pitts is in this offense?
I think he deliberately did that. It ain't no mistake about it. He deliberately said that.
So, do you think that it was more of so let me ask you this. Do you think that it was a more of a shot at Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, or Zach Robinson?
I think it's a shot at all of them, to be honest, because of the pressure. He don't want the pressure on him. I think it's a shot at every last one of them because the conversation is He said he's a big play receiver. Well, who's responsible for designing big plays for him?
Zach Robinson.
And has he been getting the ball?
He's been getting the ball, but not at the not as much as everybody expected him to get.
So who does that sound like there's a problem with?
Now that goes right into Kirk Cousins.
You see what I'm saying? He deliberately said that. He knew he chose those words silent. He chose those wisely.
Mm,
He knew exactly what he was doing when he said that. Because he said he's been saying this all week, all training camp all year. He's been saying Kyle is a big play guy. He gonna make some big plays for us, and he's not making those big plays. He's not even getting him the ball. So he's already setting the groundwork for Kirk Cousins and Zach Robinson to explain it. Now Zach Robinson got to answer questions. All right, why haven't you designed the plays for him? I mean, we saw it in the end of the fourth quarter. You getting the ball, but why can't you give him the ball in there? And then Kyle gonna say, "Look, Zach gonna be like, hey man, I did my job. I sent the play in." When you see, just pay attention to his next press conference whenever he has it. And
mm,
if he comes out and say that, well, I called the plays for Kyle, things just don't go the way that we hope. And now he says that, guess what it's gonna go to? The reporters, they smart. They're gonna go to the quarterback and say, all right, Kurt, oh, it's coming. Kurt, why haven't you been getting the ball to Kyle? Why hasn't Kyle getting the ball? So he's already setting the groundwork for somebody to be the fall guy. He's not fooling me. That man knows exactly what he's saying. He's not fooling me at all. Can you remember last year what happened with Arthur Smith? When we started complaining about Desean Robinson, you remember you the one who called it. You were the first one that
yeah,
called it.
yeah. Yeah, because once Dejan Robinson became the vocal point of the offense, then all of a sudden now the cry was why Drake London wasn't involved. Then the
Mm-hmm.
cry was why Kyle Pitts wasn't involved. And then
Yep.
now they started to try to get those two involved. Now the cry was why Bijan not getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Tyler getting the ball too much?
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you're saying is a public relations trap to
Oh,
call to write a story about bitching about something.
yep. That man knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly why he said that. Because you remember he didn't want to answer the questions about Kyle Pitts not getting the ball. He just kept it
Mm,
short.
right.
He just said, look,
So
just didn't go that way. It just didn't, we just didn't go. And he just cut it short. He didn't want to talk about it. Now he's talking about
okay. Because I'm because I'm just going back in the last 5 games. Let me see. Kyle Pitts has been targeted 18 times for 7 receptions for 79 yards. The last 5 games.
it. Drake got 16 targets in one game. Just to put that in perspective.
So so we have to look at it from this standpoint. As long as Kyle Pitts is down here in Atlanta, 2021 will never happen again.
Mm-mm. Nope.
You have way too many playmakers and you have way too many guys that need the football.
Yeah, that's never happen again. He gonna have tight end numbers for the rest. pretty much the rest of his career.
And like you said, wow, we're sitting here complaining about Kyle Pitts numbers, and this is the point, and this is the conversation that is very mind boggling. While we're sitting here talking about Kirk Cousins, y'all do know Kirk Cousins is the third leading passer in this league.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with Kirk Cousins is strictly on the turnovers, but he's getting the ball out. Let me read these numbers. Darnell Mooney, 873 yards, 5 touchdowns. Drake London, 866 yards and 6 touchdowns. Ray McLeod, 574 yards, 1 touchdown. And Bijan Robinson, 53 receptions for 401 yards and 1 touchdown. So you have five receivers with over 400 plus yards right now.
Mm-hmm.
The average NFL team doesn't even have that. Our major issue right now is turnovers, and Kirk Cousins playing scared right now. Go ahead, Mike. You sound like you want to say something.
No, I was just saying, that this goes into what I was talking about. It's like all that was deliberate. They know what they're doing. They know that they're trying to accomplish something, and I think their goal is bigger than succeeding right now.
So do
They're
you
at
think
some
that?
point
So
that,
so
that
so so
that-
do you think that? So do you think that the goal is they're trying to plant the seed for a Kyle Pitts trade next year?
I think they're trying to plant the seed for their own greatness. They don't care nothing about the players right now.
Mm,
I think they're trying to plant the seed for their own greatness because he brought two of his buddies from the Rams. You know how coaches
mm,
love. You know how coaches love their own. They don't care
mm-hmm,
about no players. Or you think why you think Arthur brought uh old doofus here with him? Ain't got no ain't had it man. They had no success nowhere.
Oh,
But you
you
brought
talking about you? Oh, you talking about old jackass Wagon?
yeah. That man ain't succeeded nowhere. And all of a sudden you like him to be a for what? He ain't doing nothing. He ain't did nothing.
Not jackass Wagon.
You gonna bring him to
Mm,
be a leader of what? He ain't did nothing. So all this is to try to make Zach Robinson. It's the same thing that the Georgia Bulldogs do with Mike Bobo. They love him so much they just try to make him look good because that what they trying to do. What these stats? They trying to have 4, 5, 6 guys to have 500 plus. Oh, we the first team that ever did that. That's a marketing right. That's marketing. They know exactly what they're doing. Like I said, the Falcons ain't fooling me with this. I wouldn't even say the Falcons. This coaching staff ain't fooling me. I know exactly what they're doing. They want that to be a marketing tool to say, see, we're the first team in NFL history to ever do that. Watch. Like I said, watch this.
so
You gonna see it. Watch.
in that case, you don't have one player whose
Exactly.
stats dominate.
Mm-hmm.
which makes the players actually cheaper to keep.
Yep. That way they're in control of the organization because that the
Mm,
conversation changes. We can make anybody a quality player. That's what they focus on. They're not worried about giving them making them. You can make anybody that's been drafted in the top 10 a superstar just by giving them volume catches, volume targets.
which goes back to the original question about Kyle Pitts not being a volume catcher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't want him to be a volume. That's crazy.
Because if he's catching passes in volumes, that makes him more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You sadistic ass motherfucker.
Yeah, they know exactly, bro. I'm telling you, the Falcons know exactly what they're doing. This is not fooling me, not one bit. I know what they're doing because they don't want to be they they don't want to be another position where they got another Julio Jones on their hand.
So the question comes down to is the 2025 draft is going to tell us everything we need to know.
Mm-hmm. I say leading up towards after this season, after December, after the season gets good, you're gonna start seeing everything start playing out. See who's gonna be the first one that they extend the contract to, or even start having that conversation about extending contract. That's gonna tell you everything. Well, this coach, because in December, coaches started to look for jobs and all that type of stuff. You start hearing whispers about coaches leaving and all that type of stuff. So keep a close eye on that. Y'all gonna see everything gonna start making sense.
Mm, mm, yeah, yeah. Passing the ball at Pitts in garbage time.
Mm-hmm. They didn't look at that man first quarter, but you're gonna tell me in the fourth quarter when you damn near out of it by 2, 3 scores. Now he want to look at him. Why would you start targeting him towards the end of the game? Because this is the plan. The plan is to piss Kyle Pitts off. The plan is to piss Kyle Pitts off so he can start crying and whining about the ball. So they
Mm,
go back to what K Style was talking about, making him a trade option. They trying to piss him and Tyler Algier off because they don't want to pay him. They really don't want to pay him.
mm,
They don't want to pay them long term, so they doing stuff like sitting them on the sideline. That man had Charlie Warner in a damn slot running routes. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? You took Kyle Pitts off the field to put Charlie Warner in to run routes. And I'm a Georgia fan. I know Charlie ain't no damn he ain't no receiving tight end like that. He's always been a blocking tight end. And you put him in the game and take Kyle, they know exactly what they doing. This is
mm,
deliberate to piss Kyle Pitts off so they can end up. Look, I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all gonna see. And y'all gonna see, and y'all gonna say me and K Styles. Damn, man, y'all was right, man. This shit, man. Okay, you gonna see. Watch. Why would you not give a guy that you drafted the fourth overall the ball? That don't make sense. You drafted
you
a
can't.
running back not to get him the ball. That don't make sense. You know what? We're gonna draft Bijan Robinson and say, Bijan, I need you to pick up blitzes. Huh? Bijan, I draft you 8th overall so you can pick up blitzes. They know they don't want Kyle Pitts. It ain't got nothing to do with whether or not this guy can run routes or he's not running routes. They don't want to pay him because they done already invested in High Yellow. And I
Because
love High Yellow, but we know
because
they invested in him and Desean.
because the original plan when they first got here got thrown out the window the minute the Deshaun Watson shit came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think if anybody remember, the original plan was to keep Matt Ryan. Kyle Pitts was brought in to be Matt Ryan's weapon. And by having to go with the plan that went with, and at the time, it actually was the right reasoning to do to trade and get out of that Matt Ryan contract. The purpose for Kyle Pitts changed. And guess what happened? And like I said, guess what happened? The very next year, we draft Drake London. So now,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so and then think about it. You draft Drake London and you brought in Marcus Mariota.
Marcus freaking Mariota.
You draft Desmond Ritter in that same draft. Was hoping for him to be a bridge for at least the next couple years. But then the following draft, you bring in Bijan Robinson.
And drafted
The,
another
the, the following year where you had a Tyler Algier who was on a tear the last half of the season. So in reality, what we're looking at, once again, I'm gonna say this. We're looking at a team that has no foundational identity. It's changing on a yearly basis.
Yep.
So unfortunately, a lot of the players that we do have are not going to have the same roles as they did the year prior. And like Southside here said, make it very uncomfortable for Pitts, so Pitts ask for a trade so they won't seem like the bad guy.
Yep.
So essentially, what you're saying is they're giving Kyle Pitts the Matt Ryan treatment.
Yep. Make them uncomfortable. So they and their agent can ask for a trade.
So he used Deshaun Jackson as the comparison to add to the expectation that he can't meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
why he
ooh,
chose
that's a
because he said
ooh,
he's not. He used the word in the press conference. He said he's not a volume catcher. Kyle Pitt's gonna be saying to himself, "What the hell you mean? I'm not a volume catcher." That's what him and his agent gonna say.
ooh,
That man know what he doing.
wait. So you're telling me is we done finally cracked the code on the role of Kyle Pitts in Atlanta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Because just a few when Arthur Smith was here, he was the one that was being advertised and promoted. Now they don't switched it to Bijan Robinson.
Damn.
Just look at all the promotional stuff. Look at all the promotional stuff on the Falcon channel. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
They haven't promoted Kyle Pitts since 2021.
They
Damn.
haven't been promoting Kirk Cousins either. as of late like that.
Oh, they ain't promoted Kyle Pitts since that 509 game.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all is there for y'all. It's right there.
Damn. So we're gonna go ahead and start winding it down, man. We're actually
We
this
messing up.
conversation actually is going to be this is actually part one of this conversation.
Yes.
Part two of this conversation will be on the ATL Sports end game
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow night. So I want I want Juan to get his takes on this comment. Damn, Mike.
Yeah, Tyler was never really into it. Like when you draft a guy that low, he was never in the conversation.
Tyler was the guy that exceeded the expectation for the role they wanted to give. Because you have to remember, at that point in time, Caleb Huntley was the one they was pushing until
Yep.
he got hurt.
Mm-hmm. And Carlos Washington, he just didn't live up to the expectation that they thought he was. So they kind of shredded that. They probably killed that.
Oh, Mike. Oh,
It was two guys right there. Yeah.
oh, oh. Hold on. Before we leave, hold on. Mike just made me think about something. Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you just hit on something I did. I don't think anybody thought about. Cordero Patterson was becoming a fan favorite, and they
Yep.
X'd him out the offense.
They
Nigga, what?
They just said nope. This happened. This ain't, bro. This is a trend with the Falcons. If you start becoming a fan favorite, or you feel like the Falcons, they feel like they don't have the plans for you, they're going to X you out of the offense, and they're gonna start feeding everybody else the ball who they want to be that, because they can control those narratives. They can control saying, all right, Ray McLeod ain't that damn good. All right, I'm gonna give him $3, $4, $5 million a year. Why? Because I ain't got to pay him. So it won't look bad if we just stop giving a guy like Cordero Patterson ball. Why? Because you'd be saying to yourself, yeah, he old anyway. You'd be saying even with Ray McLeod, what's the first thing you're gonna say? Man, that man is a fifth receiver at best. So it's not gonna look bad.
Ooh, Lord. Yeah, we got part two of this press conference. I think tomorrow we gotta where we I think we're gonna also talk about the constant defense of Kirk Cousins struggles. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna leave that for the ATL Sports end game. So
Mm-hmm.
Mike, we're gonna go and get up on out of here, man. What's the last thing you want to speak to the people before we go?
Watch and listen. Watch and listen to everything that they say. Hang on every word. Hang on every word that they say. Everything, and watch every move that they make in the off season, and things that they put out. Things that they put out in the media. All this stuff is it's gonna tell you everything. So remember what we said and watch how everything unfolds. Don't listen to us. Watch it, because our points are based on what we've been watching.
Because remember, as soon as that Seahawks game came and Kirk Cousins had that struggle in that game, the very next, not even the very next day, but the very next hour, it was Michael Penix
Mhm.
everywhere.
Everywhere they put
And
him.
we ain't
They
and
put him
we ain't won a game since.
on.
Well,
Nah,
yeah,
they put him on what you call it. I forget what show they was, but they put him on
Good Morning Football America.
yeah, they put him on the next show. They put him on TV. You have to approve. See, this is what people don't understand too. Let me say this before we get out of here.
Go ahead.
get permission from the Atlanta Falcons to even interview their players. Okay, I know this because this is something that we've tried. I've tried. You have to get permission from the Atlanta Falcons to interview guys. You got to go through an interview process to even to interview those guys. The Falcons don't have to approve. They don't have to. That's why a lot of these football players, when you see them on shows like Pat McAfee and all that, the NFL approved that. The NFL team approved that. Sometimes guys like Aaron Rodgers, they have that worked in their own deal. But young guys like Kyle Pitts and yeah, you have to go through a process to even interview those guys.
Oh man, boy.
I know that because I tried.
Kyle Pitts' role has diminished since Matt Ryan was here.
Ever since.
Kyle Pitts is the remnants of Matt Ryan in it. Nigga, we getting up out of here.
Ooh, boy.
All right, man. So we're gonna get up on out of here, y'all, man. Because like I said, if the 10-4 hat keeps on going, I'm gonna come up with some shit that's gonna scare me. So we definitely appreciate
I want to know what's
we,
out here.
so we appreciate y'all, man. Hey, like I said, y'all make sure if you're wrestling fans, we got the exclusive World of Wrestling coming on late tonight, 10 o'clock with Truth. Main event and LT. And also we're gonna have the ATL Sports in game tomorrow, as well as we got OG Big Sam with the Friday show. So till next time, people, we here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here.
These motherfuckers diabolical. This dude literally said. This dude literally. This dude literally said he did want to be part of a franchise that made decisions on. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna let Juan eat on that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Deuces.
Peace.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.